Moustraps.
In 2001, the museum received a huge collection of animal traps from a local woman who's a collector. She collected many things, including marbles, but this happened to be one of her collecting areas. And dozens of the traps in this collection are mousetraps. And so here you'll see a selection of some of the most ingenious or interesting examples from our collection. The first one we start with is a very standard model. Victor is kind of the brand name for mousetraps today. Most people will recognize it, and it's mostly what you buy when you go to the store. Very standard spring-loaded trap with a platform that releases the spring and kills the mouse. The next one, very similar to the first, also a Victor. I just love this one because of the stylized cheese platform. I just like the idea that apparently the designers thought that maybe stylized cheese would be more attractive to mice, or perhaps more likely attractive to buyers. But I don't know that mice really care what the thing intended to kill them actually looks like. The next is the can't miss 4-way rat trap. So much larger variety, but the same concept: a spring-loaded arm which kills the rat. The 4-way simply means that apparently if the rat approaches the trap from any direction, it can set off the spring. Apparently some others weren't as effective in that, and I like the stylized mouse there, or rat. This one, I don't know what makes a person want to spray paint their mousetrap, but apparently something drove this person, whether it was artistic interest or maybe interior design concerns. But pink spray painted, best pre-baited mousetrap. I think pre-baited means that there was some sort of infused scent into the plastic arm here. It could also be spread with peanut butter to attract the mouse. And the thing I like to point out to people is the desiccated mouse parts. So this was a used trap and apparently was effective. One of the things that surprised me is how sadistic some of these traps were. Not only did they want to kill the mice, but apparently they may have wanted them to suffer along the way, maybe teach them a thing or two. This one, very standard, very similar to the Victor, with a spring-loaded arm that breaks the neck, but I want people to notice that there's a serrated edge along the trap, which apparently would also not only break the neck, but gouge the neck too. So what it takes for somebody to think these things up, I don't know. Maybe long winters.
Long winters with mice.
With mice, apparently, yes. This is another rat trap, so it'd do a number on a mouse, and certainly. But it's an interesting design because it looks like what we would think of today as a binder clip. It opens up, and when the rat comes in and sets off the spring, it clamps down on the neck. Compared to the previous rat trap, it doesn't seem to have as much force to me, so I'm not sure how effective it was. And all of these remind me of the old saying that if you build a better mousetrap, the world will beat a path to your door, and I think this illustrates this nicely. Speaking of sadistic traps, this one looks really vicious. It's very similar design, again, spring-loaded arm, but this arm has got lovely sharpened teeth on the edge of it. Again, really designed to show those rats who's boss, I guess. And so, or the other thing it makes me think of is maybe the mouth of a cat. This one I like. I think it's my favorite design, just from an aesthetic point of view. It's very compact. Whenever I set a mousetrap like the Victor, I always worry about getting my finger in it. And this one opens nicely. It sets easily. I'm not sure how effective it was. It doesn't seem, it's hard for me even to close it once it's set. So maybe that's why you don't see anything like this. But again, it's just the very, very same style as what you find in an office, a binder clip. But very, very beautiful in its design. It's very modern, and maybe the modern binder clip was inspired by a mousetrap. I like the concept, even if it's not true. Same concept as the previous ones, the binder clip idea. This one doesn't set as easily, and it's not as attractive, not as pretty. But again, we go back to the serrated edges. Apparently people thought the serrated edges were necessary, maybe to hold the mouse in there better, but still it seems a little perverse in its sadism. This is a mousetrap designed and manufactured in Iowa, but it looks very efficient and very clean and very modern in its design. I actually like it because, again, I don't have to worry about getting my fingers trapped in there. It's not sticking very well, but anyway. And it's got a nice little rubberized trap on it. I don't know what to call that arm thing, but I'm sure it has a name. And I don't know, that somehow seems a little more gentle in seeing the mice off to the great beyond. So this one I'm not sure about its effectiveness. I love the orange plastic look of it. These are called, and we'll see several of examples of these, different examples. These are called choker traps. And I don't think they were designed so much to snap the mouse's neck, the way the Victor is, as the name implies, to choke them to death. So it's kind of like hangman for mice. And the mice would run in and would trigger the door, and that would release the arm, and it would come up, and the mouse would essentially hang there until dead. This is a similar choker. Again, the arm is designed to come up. The mouse slips his neck into the noose, if you will, and when it releases the spring, the arm comes up and chokes the mouse. This one, though, designed for efficiency. 4 mice could be trapped and killed in this one at one time before you had to clean it or throw it away. I'm sure they were cleaning these as opposed to discarding them. This one made of very utilitarian, very salt of the earth wood. And the next one, very same type of concept, but this one is made of the precursor of modern-day plastic called Bakelite. And people may remember this from telephones used to be made of this and other home appliances. So this was to show not only were you efficient at catching mice, but you were also up with the most current technology. This one is also a rat trap, very similar to the first one we looked at in the concept. It has a sturdier looking trap itself, all metal, and probably did a very good job of killing little critters. So you don't even have to touch it. You step on the trap and it automatically sets it. So it wants to set easier than it does to release. And this one is the gentlest and the most humane of all the traps. This is a live trap, almost a piece of cabinetry. Very detailed woodwork here, considering what it was to be used for. The mouse would run through the trap door, and would not be able to get back out. And then you take the little critter out and release it outside, and it goes to the neighbor and gets caught in the Victor. So but I think it's pretty. I think it makes me feel better about how we're treating our mice. So, and very simple in terms of moving parts. No springs, it just uses gravity to catch the mice.
This is great. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Noel.